In January of 2024, I had the privilege of accompanying Buffalo Audubon on a winter birding trip to Algonquin Provincial Park. This park is situated in Ontario, Canada, and is approximately 3 hours north of Toronto on a good traffic day and 3 hours west of Ottawa, making it a highly sought-after destination. Algonquin Park serves as a gateway between northern and southern Ontario. It is located in a transition zone between deciduous forests, which are typical of the areas to the south of the park, and coniferous forests, which are more typical of the areas to the north. Algonquin is home to 278 bird species, including boreal forest specialties such as the Canada jay, black-backed woodpecker, and spruce grouse. The park is also habitat for moose, black bear, and wolves. During the warmer months, it is a popular destination for paddlers due to its abundance of lakes, rivers, and streams. In the winter, it becomes a destination for birding. Tom Kerr, the senior naturalist at Buffalo Audubon, identified several target species for the trip, including common redpoll, pine siskin, red crossbill, and evening grosbeak, among others, with the highlights being the elusive spruce grouse and the charismatic Canada jay. It was a mixed group of casual and expert birders and photographers, but everyone was there to see the birds. And what birds were you hoping to see on this trip?
Canada jay and spruce grouse.
You know, I wanted to see the Canadian jay, everyone's favorite.
I was hoping to see a Canada jay especially.
Spruce grouse, Canada jay, and hopefully a black-backed woodpecker. Only got one of them.
I was hoping to see the different types of crossbills, and we saw them.
I'm here for the mammals. No, just kidding. Anything. Not an avid birder before this trip.
After enjoying a delicious lunch in Huntsville, our first stop at the park was the Visitor Center, which is known for its many bird feeders. However, our plans took an unexpected turn when we got stuck on the access road. Fortunately, a plow came by and cleared the way for us, but also informed us that the Visitor Center was closed due to snow. Our backup plan was to take a brief hike at the Spruce Bog, which is known for being a popular spot for Canada jay and spruce grouse. Unfortunately, we did not come across either species during our hike. However, we did have the pleasure of listening to the calls of a raven and feeding some chickadees while taking a great hike around the bog. We enjoyed a great meal in town and discussed our plans for the next day. Tom received a tip about a location of a curious pine marten. We made our way to the spot early in the morning. At first, we didn't have much luck, but then the cute teddy bear foxweasel, as some in the group called it, came into view. We had a great time watching it jump and play between the trees, and many of us managed to take some great photos of the adorable creature. We did some roadside birding and then headed to the Visitor Center for take 2. The Visitor Center was open and full of birds. We checked out the wildlife sightings board and added our pine marten to the board. The feeders in the back were filled with evening grosbeak, while the feeders in front were dominated by red crossbills and common redpolls. Tom was able to identify a rare hoary redpoll, later corroborated by other experts and park staff. We originally planned to go birdwatching on Opeongo Road, but since the road was not plowed, we decided to explore the logging museum area in search of the Canada jay. Unfortunately, we were unable to spot any of these charming birds. We had a delicious lunch at the Mad Musher before making one final attempt to find Canada jay and spruce grouse at the Spruce Bog before it got too dark. Despite not being able to spot any Canada jays, the group was in high spirits. The pine marten encounter set the perfect tone for the day and the many species found at the visitor center made the trip quite memorable. Many in the group were able to see some lifers, including me. We wrapped up the day by celebrating at the Huntsville Brew House, where I highly recommend the rainbow trout tacos. We woke up early on our final day to make one last attempt to spot the Canada jay at the Spruce Bog area. Timing was everything. As soon as we arrived at the Spruce Bog parking lot, we were greeted by 5 Canada jays. We enjoyed their playful behavior, and some of us even managed to feed them by hand. This was the highlight of our trip, and I can't wait to return to Algonquin to paddle in the summer and hopefully see the park again next winter.